Greetings, fellow mountaineers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval. Episode 23, Reap the Peak. First order of business for you live viewers. You get to decide what we work on first. So here is the poll. We have got improved defenses. So, in terms of improving defenses, it would be to set up ways for our archers to have dominance over enemy archers. We also have start a project involving water. That would break out to a few subpolls about how to involve water in our little settlement, if that's something that you guys want. We could also create a proper barn, relocating these animals to a better spot, possibly with food grazing. Of course, it's currently the first day of winter, so I'm not going to be able to plant anything for them, but that would be the idea. To give them red currant bushes to graze upon and like a barn or something. We can also create a crypt. Down below in the mountain, bury Iscandia, so that Iscandia Churchill, instead of being on the top of the hill, could be deep in the mountain. We have also improved relations with a trade caravan. So that would probably be ramping up the smelting and then making sure that we are producing goods for trade and then running it out with our cow and gifting it. Because out in the region here, we have a lot of enemies. Some are permanently hostile, but not all of them, and we could definitely repair relationships. However, if we do repair relationships, that might limit our ability to recruit new people, because generally speaking, recruiting new people means they're seeking refuge, meaning that we have to defend them against other factions, most of which, if we're repairing the relationships, we wouldn't want to then fix the relationship and then subsequently immediately betray them. Then we have improved weapons, armor, and clothing. I'm gonna still improve clothing, but that would be like making sure that everyone has top-notch stuff, and then expand the farm. Now, we have a lot of food, but, it's possible that you guys want even more planted. That way we can ramp up to, like, really nice meals instead of basic ones. There you go. You got some minutes to decide that. And one of the things I wanted to do is try to improve mood, at least initially. So I want to try to get everyone into good or better clothing. Getting rid of, like, sturdy stuff, because sturdy stuff makes people upset, and I had issue with that. So, for instance, V-Dub here can ditch his flimsy winter clothes in lieu of something better, for sure. I'm just not entirely sure I have... Oh, here we go. Wear that instead. And I'll go through each and every colonist to make sure that they're all wearing good or fine, not sturdy or flimsy. There we go. Okay, now that's already done, because I had spares. Easy peasy. There was one other change I wanted to do. Replacing the limestone block floors here with wall segments so that fewer melee attackers can attack the reinforced door at a time. That should help. Just prevent us from being overwhelmed, I think. It's the first day of winter, so we're not going to be able to do a whole lot of, like, planting. It does look like create a proper barn is sort of the leading concept, and I'm going to have you guys decide exactly what that means and where we'll put that in just a minute, if that does indeed win. Because there's a few different options. I have a few different things in mind. Another thing that might not be a bad idea is we're trying to ramp up steel, right? But we don't really have coal. So there are a lot of really easily exposed coal veins or seams over here. And just to get a little bit of coal, because it will also serve as a fuel source. There's not a lot of trees up in the mountain, and we have somehow avoided needing to mine coal until now, but I think if we're going to want some steel, it will help. If I build a small hut outside the gate with only a smelter, will the enemies target it? Yes. Yeah, enemies will target like everything that you build outside. I mean, they did leave alone this barn, but that isn't to say that they would forever. Everything is fair game as far as they're concerned. It's a weird thing to be doing, that we're just like choked full of metals, and yet here I am getting more raw materials. I get how strange that is. Also, I didn't realize that there was like ripe flax over here. That's nice. Okay. When was water added to this game? In the last experimental branch, it was added. Water and water mechanics. So we've got Liara working on unlocking new research. And same with Scumdog. On the floor above, they are creating spare winter clothing and caps. And it looks like you guys want me to make a proper barn. Got it. Alright, where to build the barn? So there's a few different options here. One that I was thinking of is the second to top level here. This sort of wider section. I could build a barn. It's a lot of stony soil, so if we do want to plant crops for them to graze upon, I will need to replace the stony soil with proper soil so that we can plant a wider variety of crops up there. So top of the mountain is one option. Another option is to carve out a section of the land, preventing access from raiders, and putting the barn outside, out front of the mountain. I could also keep them where they are and just construct barns and sow crops here, replacing the silver and iron and rocky soil and limestone with soil and planting things for them. And maybe even expanding out where I would line it with walls, just like I did on the other side. And then, so keep it where it is. And the last choice would be the second to top level. This crescent-shaped area for them to roam in. The disadvantage there is I would have to restrict walking access from the stairwells, so getting to the top of the mountain would be a little bit trickier. So I'll have you vote upon those 4 potential options. I don't remember why I built these. Height advantage for shooting? I mean, that would work. So we have a lot of people that are desperately thirsty. Let me look at all stimulants. Yeah, so they're allowed to drink whatever they want, and I have a lot of stimulants down here. Booze and wine. So I'm not entirely sure why so many of them are thirsty, unless they just don't have the free time to fulfill their thirst needs. So for now, I think what I could do is pull out the work. So one of the reasons to keep like a set work schedule is if we're doing work well outside of the mountain so that we don't constantly go back and forth. But if we don't have a ton of coal tasks queued up, I don't have a lot of outside of the base tasks queued up, so it's not really all that important for me to like min-max their productivity. So I'm just going to give them an anything schedule to avoid mood breaks. We are definitely running low on fodder up here too. That was one of the things is I was sort of planning on culling some of these animals, especially when they get of age, a little bit older. Right, let's keep an eye on their moods, because a lot of them are just very close to having breaks. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit better. Some free time. And it seems to me like you guys want to build the barn at the top of the mountain. So another question is, I could build it on the very top where the apple trees are, or the second to top level. So there's I see 3 different choices here. How to build the top barn. I could build where the apple trees are, build on the larger section, or build on the larger section and remove the soil from the top. Removing the soil from the top would be shaving down this top area, which would yield dirt, and then also have like a very large flat section up top for grazing. It would be a bigger project, but it would allow them more room. So you can decide that. I'll just give you 1 minute on that so I can get started. I'm also changing the way this is laid out so that it's easier for us to defend against attackers. We're trying to. There's some construction failure. There we go. And just adjusting the merlins so that they look right for the new sort of inset zigzag. Alright, build on the larger section, removing the soil from the top. Got it. So that's going to involve removing a lot of these apple trees, for better or for worse. Because they're in the way. So, time to chop them down. Everything up here. I'm not too worried. Like, apple saplings are not that expensive, so if I have to start a new grove, it's not a big deal. And then I'll update the priority. Priority is build a barn at the top of the mountain. Got it. So for now, I'm going to leave the ramp in place. These ramps in place. But I'll probably keep them there. But what I'll need to do is I'll need to create like a wood gate or fence gate like I did here. Stopping them from getting off of the top. Because I want to make it easy to traverse up top. And that will corral them in so they can't go wandering about eating things they shouldn't. Actually, I'm not sure I want the gates there. Rework that. It'd be a lot less noisy for those that have beds down below as well. They won't have all the animal noises. And it keeps Iscandia company. Now, why is no one going up top? I think they're all... Steward. Hall. So, like, we should be seeing GMT going up top to cut those trees. There is some building, I guess, going on, but it sure isn't fast. Wow, they really just... Alright, well, tomorrow I will watch... Can they not get up here? No, they can. So taking a look at GMT, growing, harvesting, and cutting plants is the highest priority. More than hauling. But I did just see him haul, or her haul, meaning that there's some sort of weird... There we go. Now they're actually starting. I don't know what that was about. Oh, you know, GMT was probably harvesting out here. All this flax tasks that I queued up. That's almost certainly it. Yeah, there we go. Alright, then these growing zones are going to get removed. What's weird is the hotkey for deconstruct isn't working. I'll just click them. And then we are digging up all of the soil up here, flattening out the top of the mountain to have the greatest area of grazing possible for our animals. It's a big project. It's also going to be challenging with the snow replacing the stony soil with regular soil, because it's going to be hard to tell what is what. It's very blue. Really? Already? Been like 20 minutes and we're getting sound hiccups? I always seem to end up doing soul work in the winter. Yeah. And I don't love it. It's just the way it is sometimes. I have a feeling like... Let's go ahead and schedule in one midday work section. They don't have unions. It's not like they can complain. One more midday work section instead of two. So they still have more recreation time, but we can actually get some honest work out of them. Yeah, there we go. I see progress. Question for you guys, a separate one. Next research. There's the polls. So we have the ability to do beekeeping. So beekeeping would be good for like mead and wax. We've got furniture too. Furniture too is nicer beds for the most part. Stone carving, that would spruce up the base with art. Wood carving would be the same, but in wood. Brewing if we want nicer beers. We have melee weapons, axes, maces, swords, or ranged weapons, crossbows, or distilling, which is up here for like medicinal alcohols, or armor, armory and shields. So you guys can pick that. Man, I really hope they fix this food reserves bug. I have so much food right now, it's absurd. In the base right now, we have 23 red currants, 360 cabbage, 583 beets, 242 carrots, 223 raw meat. I mean, you can see all these, animal feed and lavish meals and packaged meals. I mean, the fact that it thinks we're almost out of food is laughable. But that is a very common warning I get, which is extraordinarily annoying. Wish I could just turn it off. It's like, I know, yes, I'm running out of food. Totally running out of food. Just like, turn off the warning. Thank you. Oh, our trap is, Our traps worked. I don't know. I think this fox died first, which attracted other animals, and they are all dead. Working as intended. Yes, exactly. Alright, I think I want Rager making sure that the... Really? I can't... There's no... That was weird. Oh, you, okay, yeah, I understand. I got rid of the ramp a bit too early. I thought that they would not get... Okay, but I was... Okay. Yes. So I was wrong about something. It's not the first time, won't be the last. Hey, Rager. Let's get you off of this hill. Could I make a soil stockpile on the top of the mountain? I actually have a follow-up question about that that I'll be asking in just a second. I was hoping they would, like, order of operations not do that to themselves, but clearly I was wrong. And they still may, right? Because they could, like, get them to the top and then mine out everything around them and then be stuck again. Feel like, well, I suppose we'll see. Oh, yep, there's more. Can't outfox my traps. And I'm not sorry about that. Puns intended. Beekeeping and stone carving tied with ranged weapons, almost getting there. If anyone wants to be the tiebreaker here, or cast a vote, do it now so that I know what to research. Come on, man. What's going on here? Coal. Alright. Oh, he's already doing it. Wanted to get some steel. Finally, getting around to it. Alright, beekeeping has won. Cool. So that allows us to make some skeps. The only issue that I foresee at the moment is I have a severe lack of hay. And I don't think I'm going to be getting any from grasses in the winter, right? Because there's just like not... I'd have to buy some. I'd need to get lucky with like a trade caravan coming by and being like, all right, here's some grass. Because there's like one thing of tall grass here. I guess, yeah. I guess we could try to harvest... Where's our barley? I plant barley? I thought I did. Herbs. Am I not even planting barley? Okay, well, that will just have to wait till the spring. Sorry. Misled you all. But you can also vote for the research that I get next as well. And I'm going to add in decorations to the end of that. There's a lot of different types of decorations. I'm going to keep stone carving and wood carving lumped in to that pull. But there's like decorative banners and decorative structures and rugs and, you know, just a bunch of decoration type stuff. So. Oh, my cattle died. You died a lingering death. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing you're just old? You died of death, according to the game. A lingering death. I'm just not smart enough to know what that means. We are flattening out the hill. The cause of death, not being alive. Yes, Hot Ving, yes. That is exactly right. It's a fatal 100% of the time. Not being alive leads to death. It's a damn shame that there isn't, like, necromancers to fix that or something. Well, the mining's coming up pretty good. We're really getting the top of that mountain up. Looks like ranged weapons is going to be next. So we got crossbows. So one of the big important things about these is range. So this crossbow 1 has a range of 25, whereas the longbow has a range of 18. So the crossbows can fire even further. And another one is attack duration, which is like attack speed. So 5.4 for the bows, but the crossbows are about double. So if you take a look at the damage, why do they have like fractions? I don't even know. Just round it. It's like 24.726. It's like no one's gonna pull out a calculator and be like, "Oh, you did 1,000th more damage than I can take. I'm dead now." But my point is, yeah, if you look at the damage, or just sort of let's examine the sturdies. It's 24 damage in 10 seconds, and then the original was 22 in 5.4, so, like, there's not much of a reason unless we need the range to go crossbows. The crossbow 1 is kind of inferior. Crossbow 2 does more damage, so the big thing here is probably armor penetration, because it has higher armor penetration and higher armor damage, or armor pen, rather. Oh, good, a cold snap. So my point is, if we're doing crossbows, they would be best... They're probably most useful against heavily armored targets, but the thing is, the meleeers that are heavily armored don't pose a lot of threat to our castle, because they essentially get stuck in the trap corridor and get shot, and, like, aren't an issue. So it's one of those, like, crossbows sound good, but, like, in practice, we would probably do a lot less damage. Not to say I won't research it, because that's what you guys want, but just highlighting that just because it's further in the tech tree doesn't necessarily mean it's nicer. I think in this case it really isn't. How much time should I spend adding soil to the barn pasture? So this was the follow-up poll that I wanted to ask, which is, how much time digging up the stony stuff and making a soily plot is worth it? Oh, and right, we have this old hole. This was a not supported roof hole that's, like, quite old. And lovely, my apple sapling fell directly into it. Fantastic. That apple sapling will be there forever. I have no plans to go retrieve it. Have I ever played Prison Architect? Yes, you can find Prison Architect content of mine on YouTube. If my commands would work. There they go. So it's pretty cold out. Cold snaps hitting. What is the temperature inside? Let's see. So the bedrooms are chilly but tolerable. The craft room is very warm. So what I could do here is double click and do intensity medium. And that should warm up the bedrooms during these this cold snap a bit. Because I don't want my people to be super complaining about, oh, I got so cold. Maybe we'll grow from the inside? And what, create a bigger hole in our base? I surely hope not. Did we fill in that hole or make it worse? Okay, we filled it in. I think they managed to, like, fill it in through a ceiling or something. It looked real weird. I'm going to spend... I'll cut the difference and say slightly over half an hour or so. Adding soil to the top. Which is going to be a little challenging considering we're in the winter and I can't really see what I'm doing, but I will do my best. What I would like to do is to have a central plot that is sown to focus all in one area so that when I plant red currant, it can just, like, spread around. But red currant is a good thing for them to munch on. And then the other thing is, like, we need the physical barn itself. So I'm not super worried about raiders, like, shooting my barn animals. It's just not something they do. So I could go so far as to, like, line it so they can't fire in. But like, I don't. Should we line the top of the mountain with walls? Make it look kind of like a stonework volcano. A simple yes or no. The way I would do that would be to do like limestone block walls around a perimeter, and maybe even to shape the terrain a little bit more so that it's more uniform, but I really don't care one way or the other. Midnight Kit, thank you for the resub. Highland Timber and Wasteland Puppy too. Cheers. And Sunshine for gifting out a sub. So we need more textbooks for crossbows. So produce until we have 20 of them. And we're not going to go with the walled-in top look. I'm okay with that. I am still digging to make it look a little bit more uniform. But as you can see, we have almost the entire top of the mountain all flattened out and ready for our dear animals to chill up there undisturbed. Oh, look, I'm even doing this wrong, aren't I? 1, 2, 3. A lot of this mining is just so that we can have a lot of soil. So then I want to put down a stockpile. I'll plop it here for now. Very high, and we just want dirt here. So that we can replace the stony soil with dirt and have grazing land up top. And this isn't even either, is it? That look even? Let's see. Out 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the 6th, it goes 3 vertical. That, like that. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Oh, I see what I did. And then this is all the way back like that. Okay, now I think it's going to be symmetrical. It's weird to make it symmetrical just for the top and not the rest of the mountain, but if I'm doing a lot of earth moving, might as well, I figure. Why not shave another one? Because that would take me like an hour, and I would not be done by the time the timer buzzed. Then the physical barn part. Soil's the best insulator. I think my polling software just... No, okay. What sort of barn should I build? A ramp down into the mountain for maximum insulation? Or a stonework structure on the roof? Or a wooden structure on the roof? So a ramp down would just... I would dig maybe a 3 wide ramp down into the mountain to shelter them, or maybe a 2 wide to make it symmetrical. 2 wide ramp down from the top of the mountain. We could also just do like a limestone block wall or raw limestone wall. Probably the raw limestone wall because it's better thermal insulation up here at the top, or a wooden structure. Wood is not a particularly good insulator. I didn't include soil, but what I could do is actually have a soil-lined structure where it's mostly soil, but with stone on the outside. That could be possible too. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval, which originally streamed live on Twitch, January 16th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.